Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome to the Best Family Outdoor Show. We got a video for you today that's a little bit different. Instead of being outdoors, we are in a newly built home. And I'm doing this because we get a lot of visitors here in the Rocky Mountains. And because it's so beautiful and so great to live in, people often wonder how it is to live here, or if it is possible for them to move here and live here. Or maybe you live in Calgary, or you live somewhere in Toronto or Vancouver area and you want to move somewhere. The situation in Calgary right now is that the homes are relatively a lot more affordable than somewhere in Toronto or Vancouver area. To give you an approximate ratio, 2 homes in Alberta cost as much as 1 home in Toronto as an approximate ratio. So if you currently live in Toronto or Vancouver, you can sell your home, move here, buy 1 home, take the other spare cash you have in the bank, or just have fun with it, and have a very good life. Another advantage Alberta will give you, or Calgary in general, is for immigrants or young families. Because if you're a young family, you're probably gonna want to look for a home for your kids and raise them in a really good area. If you're an immigrant, same situation, you probably need a place to live in Canada. Which is why this video is going to be applicable to all of you folks, all right? This house that we're currently standing in is 1,600 square feet, and it's in the greater Calgary area. I can't say where it is because for privacy reasons, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. To be honest, most homes these days look like this anyways. So this is a very good example of how a 1,600 square foot home in Calgary looks. The current market evaluation for this home is $580,000. That is relatively cheap for a home like this with 1,600 square feet compared to what you would get in Toronto or Vancouver, let's just say. So, without further ado, let's move on and I'll show you how the house looks. You saw earlier walking through the door. If I was wearing a jacket, I would take it off and put it in this closet where you can hang your clothes. There's a little bench here to put on your shoes. There's also a vent here for heat on the bottom, or air conditioning. Nice marble floor. Now, if you turn in, this home in particular has a little hallway here. And if you turn right, you have your powder room, toilet, and sink. And to look at the size of it, it's slightly bigger than most powder rooms because most powder rooms might end here, but this is a good size. And if you turn right this way and go straight, you'll see that there's a secondary closet space to hang stuff with a bench. And right over there is the door, right? So this is a very good path to get outside. And another reason why you have a closet here is because this door goes to the garage. In Calgary specifically, you see a lot of garages in the back lane. So this is not a back lane garage, this is an attached garage to the home. There's a double garage, and let me show you a couple things that's cool. Double garage, if you look this way, there are roughings for shop bags or central bags. You can either attach it to the home central bag or install a separate central bag for the garage only. So you can do like woodwork and shop work. I like that. I really like this because what I would do is hang a central bag here, plug it in, so that way I can vacuum and do shop work whenever I want without any hassles. This is an automatic garage. It's a lift master. And what's really cool, which I haven't seen before, is this. A digital panel. I don't have a new panel like this yet, right? But there's a MyQ download the app and you can access your Garage LiftMaster mobile. There is a lock mechanism that allows you to lock out remote controls. So for example, if you're going on vacation and you have your remote on your car, or if someone steals your car and wants to come home and use the remote to open your car, you have an option to take that remote and lock it out of service. So that if you have your car parked somewhere on vacation in a parking lot, someone can't just break into your car drive into your house and open your garage, because you can take that remote, lock that remote out so that when you push it, nothing happens. And then when you unlock it, that remote will work again without any reprogramming. It's kind of a neat feature. Let's head on back in. And as an advantage, it had this little wooden structure included. That's kind of standard, but it's important to include that. Okay. Before going upstairs, let's head to the patio area. I want to show you what's included with the house. And this patio is definitely included. Lock, double doors. This locking system was included too. Put your feet. Unlock.
You should mention it's a Truman home too.
Later I'll mention.
Okay.
So this is the fence. And to peek out, there's a couple of things. So you have your natural gas hookup. You have a lamp and electricity, which is nice. Hey, bud.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Yeah, so that was the guys that did a walkthrough for us. So if you look at it, that's the patio right there.
Yeah.
Kind of nice.
One thing to mention is the patio was only included because the city required all the patios to be included in the surrounding houses, just so that you can have a nice green space and have the houses look consistent.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually not included.
Okay. Now, if you turn this way, you see the kitchen is right next to the patio. This is nice for barbecue, as anyone knows with this setup. You can bring your food out after prepping it, barbecue it, bring it back in and eat it without going like 10,000 miles to another exit to the front or wherever, however your house works, if it doesn't have this setup. I know that because my house growing up didn't have an exit to the backyard, so when we did barbecues, I had to exit to the front yard, walk all the way around with the food to the backyard, just to barbecue, which made us barbecue not as much as we wanted to. Behind me is the kitchen. This right here is purely Asian stuff. For a new home, in Asian culture, I believe you gotta burn incense candles, you have to boil hot water, and you have to give gifts to the gods. Don't quote me on this because I don't really know this stuff. But this is what Asians do, and that's why that's there. Moving along, on this counter, what's interesting is that if you move along this way, the microwave is not here. The microwave isn't here on the range. It's down here on the wall. And this is cool because if you have little kids, they can microwave things themselves. My kids, when they microwave, they can finally kind of reach it now, but before, for the past decade, they had to get a chair to use a microwave or call me. But with this microwave here, they can do it themselves from probably age 6 or whatever you feel comfortable with. Underneath the microwave, okay, done with the microwave. Underneath the microwave, there is a big drawer. Let's see if it's a sound dampening, nice. Another drawer, sound dampening. Another cupboard. If you look at the cupboard size, it's pretty good. If you look inside, the depth of it's pretty nice. Okay, and I want you to come around to this side too. I've seen houses where the island was built and this wasn't here. So it's nice that it's already there, so you don't have to do it yourself. Okay, now let's take another loop around to this counter here, and we're gonna go with the washing machine. Sorry, the dishwasher. The standard Whirlpool dishwasher, very nice. This sink is standard, like this. Nothing really special here. There is double pane windows right here, so when you cook or want to talk to your guy barbecuing, you can talk through it, I guess. Okay, I want to show you under the sink because it's different than what I normally see. Ignore that is paint. So here, the carburetor plug is already set up. So if you wanted to get a carburetor, all you got to do is buy one, install it here, cut this pipe, and hook it to your carburetor. Over here is what I want to show you. you have a valve here that stops the water for the hot water and the washing machine. You have another valve here that goes down, and I was wondering what that was. This is for cold water, and this one here is cool. It goes down, and it goes under the floor, and it goes to the fridge right there behind us. And that supplies the fridge with the ice cube water and the water from the dispenser. Normally, this water thing is behind the fridge. So in order to shut off the valve, you gotta pull the fridge out and shut the valve off. In this home, they did it so that you just go under the sink and shut the valve off. So you don't gotta pull your fridge back. That is genius. I just wanted to note that. So those lights there, those LED lights, underneath all the cabinets are powered by this box right here. So it's very convenient and hidden. I like that. If anything goes wrong, this is the box you gotta investigate. And apart from that, it's pretty standard.
You forgot the on and on switch for the.
Well, yeah, okay. As a double foolproof thing, there's an on and off switch for the carburetor. So you can use it. It's built in. The stove is a range, natural gas. Turn it on and spark. That's it. Pretty nice. The vent, standard stuff. There's a light, LEDs, 2 of them. You gotta kind of push some pressure. It's not like a phone. But look, half power, full power. And the fan, you go quarter power, half power, 3/4 power, and power. Oh, nice. And off. Nice. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. You got your stove. Actually, check inside of it. I've never seen it inside before. It's kind of a standard stove, never mind. Nothing special about that.
Well, I wanted to mention that usually with the microwave there and the hood range and the gas stove, it's usually about a $15,000 upgrade, but in this case, it was included.
One thing that's cool here is look at this panel. This makes my geekness happy. By default, they have a Cat 5e connector. Well, it says Cat 5e, but the house is actually Cat 6, but well, that plate is wrong. It doesn't matter. Technical thing, but there's 2 USB ports. So technically, you can put a computer here or something like that and it would work. Okay, that's enough for the kitchen charging station that they built in to right here in this countertop. Let's move on to the whirlpool. The fridge is gigantic. That is huge. Did this come with the house?
Yeah.
This came with the house.
All the appliances came with the house.
Did you choose?
No.
Okay.
Not this package that we got.
So I'm curious, where's the freezer? Oh, that side's the freezer, okay.
Yeah,
The whole one side's the freezer, okay. And the whole one side is the fridge. That is cool.
It's easy to get the stuff in the freezer.
Wow, half. I've seen them always split like in the middle when you pull the drawer
No,
out.
we used to have a fridge like that, remember?
It's been so long, I don't know. Okay, wow, that's cool. I like that. It's an ice maker. Check this out.
It's huge.
So you fill it out. It says indoor ice. Tilt out, lift up to remove. Tilt out. And lift up. Lift up. Lift up. Hold on, wait.
It doesn't matter, honey.
No, I want to know. Right there. Out to remove.
Well, that's pretty easy.
Yeah. So lift out. Up to remove. Okay. In. Right? Now you go up. Snap it in. Alright? Pretty cool. I like this. Now, another bonus is this pantry. It's pretty big. You go in. Having these racks already done is a nice bonus because you need them. And it's quite big to store stuff. To be honest, you can probably put more racks on top and on the side and it would be okay. Okay. Back here. Follow me over here. I want to show you the entertainment section of this room. So if you look at it, this obviously is made to hang a TV. You plug it in here, put the coaxial cable or the networking cable here to power the TV or whatever you got to do. There's plugs on the bottom, so this is literally where you're supposed to put your TV and main entertainment stuff. 2 windows on top and plugs on the side, which is pretty cool, and pretty big windows right here. like it's a lot of light. So it's good for like reading, it's good for relaxing, right? Now moving along to this panel, it's kind of more high tech than I'm used to seeing. This light switch is the button. And that light turns on and off, okay? The fan is off, low, medium, and high, and off. Alright folks, that's the entertainment section. Now let's move on to this corner here. And let me show you these two panels. Over here we have a Honeywell home thermostat. It's all digital. So you can control your heating and all that stuff with a custom schedule. Up here is a light breath module that controls the air filter that is built into the house. Most new homes in Calgary have this air filter. And what it is basically a box that is in front of your furnace, so that any air that gets sucked into your furnace goes through this air filter first, and that cleans the air that you breathe. It's nice. As a bonus, you can also control the humidity in the house with that filter. That's all it is. Every house has it. Alright, so that's enough about these two modules. Let's look at the upstairs first, because usually that comes first. Let's go up the stairs. Hope my butt doesn't look big. Trying to figure out how to turn this light on. Alright, lights are on. So the first thing you do is come here. I'm going to show you the laundry room. It's one of the coolest laundry rooms I've seen. Step on in. You got two Whirlpool laundry machines. You got drawers and a sink for like mops and stuff like that, or washing hands, washing cloths and things like that, right? With storage in the bottom. Mind you, as a standard in this home, any pipe has a valve. Hot water, cold water, and all that stuff. There's a thing to hang stuff, maybe clothes to dry. And up here is the attic opening. So both of these washer and dryers, the Whirlpools, are both included. They're pretty new and advanced, like they're not crappy dryers, they're really nice actually. But yeah. And up there, as a bonus, you have a plug. GFI plug, because it's near water. There's also a plug down here too. And the floor is not the same kind of floor, it's marble, which is much more water resistant, so it's nice. You can close this up. Now let's head on to the master bedroom. What you're gonna first see are these windows. And the window here, I guess for security reasons, because the roof's right there, is one of these twirly windows that come up. Much more security, you can't jimmy them out with a crowbar. So yeah, it's nice. Wind it back in. Winter, want that colder out. Give it a lock. Here is your walk-in closet. Let me turn on that light. Boom. If you walk in here, this would be enough clothes for me. But for my wife or most girls, this is probably the absolute minimum, right? I wouldn't say this is the best walk-in closet, but it is a walk-in closet. Better than not a walk-in closet. Alright, so that's the entrance to the master bedroom, and I want you to turn here, this wall here. Your bed's going to be on this wall, and here is for a TV. And they already have the wiring done for you. So you can put your TV here, plug the HDMI cables in, shove it down this conduit, and it will exit through here at the bottom. So it's like a wireless, clean look with plugs, top and bottom, which is nice. Behind you is where your bed's going to be. And there's already a plug there and a plug there. And again, there's a network jack, which is really nice because I like super low latency. I don't like Wi-Fi garbage. And over here, you have two USB ports and two plugs already done. So in your room, you don't gotta put any charging stuff because there's actually a plug. Let me just look at something. Okay, so It's a class 2 3.1 amp, meaning it's not a crappy charger, so it's a pretty good charger. Stepping here is the washroom. Kind of nice. It's 2 sinks, which is nice, and these sinks are higher compared to regular sinks. For my kids at my house, they can brush their teeth without a chair at this point, but when they came here, they needed a chair still. So this is a bit higher. If you're a tall guy or a tall girl, this will be more comfortable for you.
It's usually an upgrade, it's more expensive.
Yeah, usually it's an upgrade because it's got a little higher, more materials, I guess, I don't know. But there's a plug here and 2 more plugs there with a GFI reset button. So right here is the GFI plug, works. And if you move on this way, you will see the standard toilet and this gigantic shower. You see that it's a pretty big shower. And what's cool is there's a little bench here, which allows you to either put shampoo and all that or sit. It's a bonus. Apart from that, this is pretty standard stuff.
Yeah.
There's an LED light in the top, which is nice.
A nice marble tile all the way to the top. Right?
Easy to clean.
Yep. Tile here. And tile on the floor. Usually if you have a tile shower like that, it's usually an upgrade. But in this case, it was included.
All right. That is the walkthrough of the master bedroom washroom. One thing I want to note that I noticed is that this window is right on top of the toilet and right beside the shower. And that window is a view of the whole neighborhood, meaning anyone on that side can look in that window. So if you use that washroom and stand up, people are going to see your butt, especially the guy beside you, like that guy right there. He has a window right across from you. That shower, same thing, maybe even worse because they can see right into that wall at an angle, so they can see you showering. Your neighbor right there across from you will also see you showering if you don't put on curtains. So unless you're really into that, I would put on really good curtains that covers it really good. Like don't go to IKEA and buy a generic curtain. Get a curtain that really fits tight so no one can see through. That's what I would do. So let's move on out of the master bedroom and into the other rooms. But first, I want to show you this cool view of this corridor. There's a big window, so you get plenty of sunlight, the chandelier, and over here is the stairs that you take to go down, all right? So let's walk across here. So since we are going this way, let's go into the washroom first. Like the master bedroom, there are 2 sinks. It's kind of identical, actually. So this front part is pretty identical. There are plugs there and plugs there, and it's GFI based, of course. You got a lot of lighting on top, so your face will be well illuminated. Your toilet and shower will have vent. Everything else is pretty standard. But it is in the middle of both bedrooms, which is good. So let's go this way. This is 1 bedroom upstairs. Kind of a standard thing. One thing that there's no shortage of is plugs. Look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outlets. So 10 in total. That's a lot. You got a very big window that gives you a very good view of what's going on outside. And because this is a bedroom, you have a closet. Not a walk-in closet, but a pretty good closet. Up there is a fire alarm. You want to change the batteries every year, not wait till they die before you change it. But if you walk across here, washroom being here, through this hallway, there's another room. It's the exact same thing as that room, except mirrored. So you have a view like this. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and 5 plugs. Same thing, 10 plugs. And a closet. So like I said, it's the exact same thing but mirrored. And fire alarm right there. So let's head on now downstairs to the basement, which is unfinished, by the way. Looks like someone's calling, so let me just see who it is. This is empty. Am I going up there or are you walking down?
I'm walking down.
Alright, so come on down and let's head to the basement, which is unfinished. You may see unfinished as bad, but I see unfinished as good because it lets me customize the basement to my liking at a much lower cost. But that's because I have the tools and the know-how to do it. If you don't, then perhaps maybe for you, you may want to hire someone. But it is much cheaper and much more fun to do it yourself. So you do a quick pan around here. It's an empty basement. It's really easy to kind of go through it. Let's look down here first. This is cool. So what you have underneath here is your sewer backflow valve, I think it's called. Is it backflow valve? I'm not sure of the exact name for it, but it's the sewer backflow valve to make sure that if sewer from the city happens to come in, it won't come into your house. So it's a valve that's like this, so that when you flush your toilet, water from your house comes out and the valve goes up and it goes to your sewer. Then once it goes out and there's no pressure, it flaps back in. So that in the event there's a backflow, nothing comes in. It's called a backflow valve. That's what it is. And these two holes here are your cleanouts. If there was a big clog in your house, they would pick these two things up and snake it, because that would clear the exit to the city. Over here, you see a pipe here going in, and the sewer goes out that way underneath the floor. There's also another place here that you can clean the valve, the pipe, and snake it. So you can unscrew this and snake it through. And the reason why you might want to do that is because right now the basement is unfinished. If you lay a floor on this thing, you're not going to be able to touch those exits, which is kind of a problem, but not a problem. So whoever finishes this basement has to make sure that they make that part openable. Otherwise, if you have a problem, you're going to have to cut your floor. You don't want that. So maybe what you want to do is leave this part empty, put a carpet over it, or maybe put like a little cutout of hardwood floor with a hinge where you can open and close. You have to make sure that these panels on the floor are accessible. Otherwise, in the event of a clog, you might have some problems, such as they might have to rip your floor out to access them. Let's move on this way. If you look up here, what's also really cool is there's a heater vent there, a heater vent there in the middle, and a heater vent there in the corner. So all the vents are done. If you're going to finish this basement, there's not much work to do, okay? If you look here, they have already done the drain. So you don't have to break the cement and add another pipe in the bottom to drain your toilet and sink. That is just an air breather tube, so that when you drain your pipes, the air breathes and you can drain it. Without that, water's not going to drain. And that is just another exit downwards.
For your toilet.
For your toilet. Moving along here on the top. So if you look up here, even down to the ventilation system, it's already roughed in. All you got to do is add a duct, maybe like I think it's a 6-inch duct probably, across, and have a vent to suck everything out. You don't have to cut through your side of the house to make a hole. It's already done. You got a window here, which means, in all odds, this is the side where you're going to build a bedroom, if you're going to build a bedroom. Because you need a window to make it a legal bedroom by regulation. So basically, they put a window here, meaning the bedroom will be cut here. This is likely it. You put a door, you make another rectangle here, and you make a washroom. And the rest here would be living space. I assume that is made for either storage or a fridge. Maybe, I don't know, but it could be used for that. And if you go this way, I'll show you the central panel here and the furnace and air filter stuff. So here are your panels. What's cool is that there's GFI outlets, so you can test them by pushing this button and it'll chip them one by one. So you want to make sure that they work. So once in a while, it's recommended every 4 months. to basically test this out and make sure they work. So after you flick it, see it turns yellow, starts up, and if it's okay and tested fine, light turns off. Light stays on, you have a problem. This is the main breaker. Over here is cool too. You have plugs earlier that we showed you in the backyard, right? Because the backyard plugs often touch water, they hooked it onto a GFI main plug. In the event that your backyard plugs touch water, it'll trip, and you can just reset it from here, right? And you're good to go. That's really cool because mine are built outside and it's not like this, which makes everything so much more simpler. Over here is a central vac plug already roughed in. So I assume you would hang your central vac like here and plug it in here. And here are the two connections for internet providers. You got your fiber and your cable, depending on what kind of internet you want to do. This is something that's really cool. You see this pipe? It's a conduit that goes all the way to the attic. So, and this wire here is your fishing wire that goes also all the way to the attic. So in the event that you wanted to do some wire routing, you can just put them in there and go all the way to the attic without any extra nonsense. And as you know, that's a big deal. Any other house, you have to go through the stairs, under the carpet, through the living room carpet, through the top, through the drywall, whatever you want to say, or whatever you want to do. I mean, every house is different. But this house has a conduit. They just, with a fishing wire already in, that you can just go up and fish it right to the attic. It's kind of cool. Now, let's move on to the water system, the furnace, and the boiler. Well, if you look here, this boiler is a newer boiler, and it's an electric boiler, not a traditional natural gas burning boiler. There are a few advantages to electric burners. It's basically more simplified, so nothing can really go wrong. All it really has is an element like your stove on the bottom that heats up, turns red, and the water gets hot. And that's it. A gas stove is a bit more complicated because you have to have the burner, you got to ignite flames. That causes issues with oxygen because it needs oxygen to burn. So you got to have like an extra oxygen source to supply that flame. It's more dangerous because there's an open flame. There's many reasons why the electricity version is more better, you can say. And there are use case advantages for a gas burner, but for a city like Calgary, an electric burner is totally fine. But anyways, that's just my spiel on that. Okay, so let's move up to the Life Breath air purifier. Basically what it does is it takes air from outside and sends it in your house. And the reason why you do that is because you want to purify your air once in a while. So with the fresh air from outside. If you look at this diagram here, it makes a lot of sense. So let's just say you haven't been in your house for a while because you went on vacation for 2 weeks. You have an option to turn this on and it'll take air from outside, suck it in your house and recirculate air. So that way your house is more fresh. You can do that whenever you want, right? But a really good case is after vacation. Gets rid of that musky smell. One other thing before we end this, I want to add that insulation is really important in Alberta because it's really cold. One cool thing they did was they spray foamed that area in the middle. That makes a big difference because it traps the heat in. Most places only put insulation, but it doesn't really work that well compared to spray foam for that kind of purpose.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice that they did that. So let's go back upstairs. All right, folks. That concludes the house tour of this home in the greater Calgary area. This home, like we said, right now is valued at $580. It is 1,600 square feet with 1, 2, 3 bedrooms on top and an unfinished basement with a garage attached. If you visited the Rocky Mountains or Calgary and have ever thought about moving here, this video gives you a good example of what you can get for $580. If you're from Toronto, you can sell your home, come here, buy this house with money in the spirit, and most likely. If you're from Vancouver, you can sell your house there, come here, probably buy a house with money in the spirit, most likely. If you're an immigrant, If you come here instead of Toronto or Vancouver, most likely you're going to be able to buy a house earlier here because it's much cheaper. Most likely. Or if you're a young person that just graduated school and you're 20-something looking for your first home or first condo, here it's much cheaper. So most likely, again, you're going to be able to get a job, a mortgage, and a home early. That is why we're showing you this video, because anybody that wants to move here can get a home like this pretty easily, I'd say, relative to Toronto, Vancouver, or anywhere else. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. My name is Han from the Best Family Outdoor Show, and this is the end of the video. So until next time, chill and have a good time. Peace out.